In today's episode of the Pathway Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Bruno Guenka, who's hailing over from the folks over at Jedlix. And today we want to really learn about what Jedlix is all about and how they basically supporting their customers. And today, I'm having the pleasure to be here with Bruno. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lucas. Very happy
Yeah.
to be here.
Awesome. Yeah. So maybe tell us a little bit about it. Like, what is Jedlix all about? So you unlock the value of EV charging and discharging. Tell us a bit about, in your words, what is Jedlix focus? Who do you serve and what do you help them with?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, I think Jedlix is a platform that optimizes the charging and discharging process of EVs at home, right? And we do that because we want the EV drivers to charge their cars at the cheapest cost as possible and using more renewable energy sources. Let me clarify that a bit. So typically we think that a transition into an EV, we are becoming more sustainable, right? But that's not necessarily the case. So depending where you ride your car or the time of the day that you charge it, you're polluting as much as a modern diesel engine. So Jetlix takes into consideration the energy contracts that you have, whether you have solar panels on your rooftop or not, and of course your preferences. So the time that you need your car ready, so we can charge your car during times where the electricity price is cheaper and the renewable energy sources are more available to the grids. So an example of that could be that you arrive at home at 6 p.m. and you plug your EV there. So basically, if you don't have any kind of smartness, you start charging from 6 to midnight, for example. But then not necessarily the best time for your pocket to charge your car. So instead of that, we use algorithms and then we can start charging your car at 9 p.m. and finish later on, but you still have your car ready to go at 9 a.m., for example. So that's what we do.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, how would you describe your customers? Like, who are they, and how do they use you in that sense? Like, what is the
Yeah,
case?
so our customers are twofold because we have our own app, but we also develop app and connectivity to partners that are into the industry. So
Mhm.
typically, our customers, our sectors that we serve are energy companies, CPOs, and cars and chargers manufacturers. So we want to enable this kind of smartness to their assets, so their customers can start smart charging on the way.
Perfect. Now, how would you say, how do these guys actually learn about you? How do they find Jetlix? What's their journey looking like?
Well, we use our website to generate content, but we also use our social media to display content and attract them.
Mhm.
On top of that, we also are present in events, so we can show up your faces and show what we have to show to the market.
And what would you say now when they basically get to know you guys? Of course, also the digital buyer's journey is increasing. People spend more time online to research solutions. What do you think? What
Yeah.
role does the website play, jetlix.com, in their journey?
Yeah, so I think the website it's pretty much the hub where all the efforts that we do for events, social medias are all combined. So I think that's how the website plays on.
Mhm. A lot of like marketers that we have on the show, basically they see the website as an ever evolving thing, an ever evolving process. Like, how would you say, like, what would be the things that you think could need room for improvement, but also the things that are working really well on the website?
So I think in for Jetlix, I think in terms that what's working well is that although we have all these different audience, we have content, relevant content to all of them. What I think could be improved, and I think it's, as you said, it's ever working process, is how to make this content easy to access to all these different audience.
Makes sense. Now, I would like to switch gears a little bit and talk with you a little bit about your journey, right? I mean, there's so much content out there for marketers these days. How do you educate yourself? Like, where do you learn in order to stay up to date, when it comes to marketing?
Yeah, so I think the main thing is because we are always interacting with our partners and all other marketeers on the other side of the table. So that's, I think it's a good room for exchanging ideas. but I always try to also keep an eye on specialized blogs that also address this kind of new tools and marketing topics.
Gotcha. Very cool. Now, I would have some rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit better. You ready for those?
I think so. Let's go.
Very good. Like, what would be the last book that you read?
Ooh, I think that was Will from Will Smith, because I'm always fascinated about these people who have more than one career and succeed in all of them. I like this kind of personalities.
Very cool. Now, what is your marketing team focused on the most at the moment?
Well, so we are a startup, right? So where we focus really depends on the project that we are in. But I think our focus is always on content creation, supporting campaigns for our own app and also campaigns for our partners.
Awesome. Very good. And for the last question would be, if today would be your very first day, right, being a marketer on Jedlix, what would be the one thing that you would tell yourself? Like, what would be the one advice you would give yourself for that journey?
Keep it simple. As the world evolves, more and more we rely on co-creation power. So trying to make it perfect from the first attempt would be something that I would try to avoid more.
Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, and if there would be no boundaries in technology and have a magic wand, what's the one thing that you would fix for your role as a marketer?
I think for me, it would be really good if we could have one tool which we could gather all knowledge that we're exposed to, from Slack channels, events, SharePoint. If we could have all of that in easy to access in one single place, would make my life way easier.
Very good. Very good. I really appreciate you took the time with us today and gave us an insight into the world of Jedlix. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about Jedlix today, what's the one thing people should remember?
Well, if you are an EV driver and you think that you can be more sustainable and at the same time save money with this, download our Jedlix app and give it a try.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathway Presents.
Thank you.